So I'm about to show you a clip from the Jeremy Vine show where the panelists are discussing the recent outbreak of measles and the measles vaccine. And it kind of underlines why there are so many people misinformed and unwilling to protect their children from this disease and other similar diseases. Take a listen.
I don't like mandatory anything when it comes to, I think it's too arbitrary to enforce parents what to do with their children.
What do you think?
These vaccines are safe and they work. That's why they're licensed. They have to go through rigorous, vigorous testing in order to be allowed to be given.
Do you think the COVID vaccine went through rigorous testing?
Yes, I do think it did, and it's been
gone
proven to be
into
very
a large
effective and
number
safe.
of arms by now.
The problem is we are now competing with an army of quackery and crankery on social media that is fueling complete disinformation about safety, about these vaccines, that is scaring people.
I think it's too much to dismiss parents for having like quackery views. There's nothing wrong with saying, hang on a minute, I want to look into this a bit more before I just accept any jab the government.
Absolutely. Can I ask, because we've had this from this guy RFK, who is the new health secretary in the States, who's quite big into everyone should have a look at this stuff and decide how they feel about it. To which people say, well, if they're not scientists, they really shouldn't, because they're just going to look online and they're just going to see a load of rubbish.
The problem with science, my issue with scientists is that they have these studies and say, this is absolutely correct, this is what we should do, and then they change 5 years later, 10 years later.
MMR has been safe for decades.
There has been so much research from scientists where they change multiple things.
I mean, the idea that science says one thing one day and then changes in the future is exactly why science is a much more reliable standard of proof than a bunch of randoms on your Uncle Dave's Facebook page who are ill-informed and whose opinion hasn't changed in the last 30 years. But as I said before, there's a lot of suspicion that parents are unwilling to vaccinate their children because they believe a lot of the misinformation online and clearly on national television from people who genuinely don't understand what it is they're talking about, or from people who maliciously hope that you don't understand so they can sell you their snake oil and lies. Now, to her credit, I don't think Lynn May, the person in the video, is being malicious. I just think she's misinformed and doesn't have the deepest understanding of the things she's being paid to talk about live on air. But that's the problem, and it just fits into my narrative about the media not being interested in the well-being of the people in this country. Lynn May was put on that show to put a controversial opinion forward, but to the people watching at home, they see a smart, confident young person on the television who looks like they know what they're talking about. And it gives that side of the argument credibility when really there is no credibility there. And one of the tactics of the modern media is to put two people against each other with opposing views, which makes it look like a 50-50 argument, when in reality, like in this case, it's not 50-50 at all.